It is the first step following a series of dog shootings by cops, like this one in Commerce City, where Chloe the dog was tased, then shot multiple times by a police officer. This week, lawmakers are expected to introduce a bill requiring all law enforcement officers to take dog training classes. 7 News always investigating, asking if this will really make a difference. 7 News reporter Molly Hendrickson's talking to the bill's sponsor. He says several police agencies seem to be on board here, Molly.
Yeah, Senator David Ballmer says law enforcement has actually been working closely with them on this bill. It would basically give more power to owners to first deal with their dogs and officers more knowledge about how to react in these situations. There was Chloe. Video shows the dog tased and shot 5 times outside her home.
It's like losing a family member.
And Ziggy, shot and killed after a deputy responds to the wrong address.
All he wanted to do was play. That's it.
And for the owners of Ava,
it's hard. It's hard.
Time has not healed those wounds.
My 3 daughters, they don't trust police officers now. I mean, how do you... They will always remember that a police officer shot their dog.
They are the reason Senator David Ballmer says cops need dog training.
Shipping companies, delivery companies, landscaping companies, they deal with dogs all the time, and they don't shoot dogs.
The bill would require cops to take a 2-hour initial class as well as a yearly refresher course.
Several departments already have policies and some training that they implement of their own. Why is this needed?
There are some police departments that have been out in front of this issue and have been working to train their officers, and those are the police departments that have not had any dog shootings. It's some of the other offices, other departments that actually need to work harder on it.
But that's not exactly true. In the case of Chloe, Commerce City Police went through training 2 years earlier. And we checked Boulder and Brighton also put their officers through dog encounter training. We called several agencies but did not hear back from any of them. Still, for people like Brittany Moore, any movement is a step in the right direction. Live in the newsroom, Molly Hendrickson, 7 News.
We all know what a hassle daily chores can be. But what if you could get someone or something to help you out? Well, meet Jessie. Heather Brooke and her pal Jessie know how to get things done. Since Jessie the Jack Russell Terrier showed a knack for tricks early on, the lessons became more complicated. So how does one teach their dog how to clean up their mess, vacuum the floors, even shine their shoes?
Lots of, I guess, positive reinforcement. Like when they're doing something that you like, just basically encourage them. Jessie, go scooter.
Here's an example. Heather says Jessie first learned how to put his paws on her scooter. Then he put his paws up and made it move. And for each step in that process, she was there to reward him.
Good boy.
Jessie's talents aren't going unnoticed. Heather's videos of Jessie have garnered nearly 20 million views on YouTube. And Jessie appears in local commercials, too. Heather says she hopes to one day teach service dogs to be as helpful as Jessie has been for her.
That'd be so cool. It'd be a dream of mine to start helping raise and train service dogs so that they could help people who have a disability.
And welcome back. Tonight on Animal Island, some great advice on how to care for your pet once their legs start getting a little rusty here. Joining me now is veterinarian Dr. Michael Selmer of Advanced Animal Care Center of South Huntington. I appreciate your time. So you sent over first a list of symptoms. Let's go through that. I think we have a full screen for those symptoms here. Your pet may be reluctant to move.
Yeah, so sometimes, you may notice your pet not wanting to climb the stairs, not interested in jumping in the car anymore. just not be able to get comfortable or not wanting to, get up and go anymore.
Okay. Another one is a stiffness. That kind of relates to the same thing. Where
Yeah.
You can see them kind of walking.
Right. So when you see that changing gait when they're walking, or they don't want to run anymore, you'll see that's the stiffness, and sometimes even that cold weather will make it worse.
Okay. The next one I think is lameness.
Right, and that's just a fancy word for limping.
Okay.
If you notice that your dog is limping on a leg, that can also be a symptom.
I would think my dog is just being lazy.
Right.
All right, and the last one, loss of mobility, they're all kind of somewhat related. So when you see all these symptoms or you suspect this, what should you do? What are some things?
Well, the first thing you need to go is go to your veterinarian so you can have, the proper diagnostics done to tell what is actually causing the joint disease, if it's arthritis or soft tissue injury. Once you get a diagnosis, there's many options that you have, ranging from natural nutraceutical care to pharmaceuticals and anti-inflammatories, all the way up to stem cell surgery or traditional surgery.
Okay. And is there a certain age that dog you might start looking at that, or can this hit a dog at any age?
Yeah, it can hit them at any age, but typically it is the middle age and older dogs. But you can see it in young dogs too now.
Okay. This is Yaya, by the way. Yaya's, she's 3?
Yaya's about 3 or 4, yeah.
Oh, how you doing? Okay, so are there certain, and Yaya's is a lab, right?
Yes.
Yes. Are there certain breeds that kind of are preconditioned to
Well,
this?
the large breeds are it's more common to see that, and most people are very familiar with hip dysplasia, which is really arthritis of that hip joint, and we do see that a lot in these larger breeds. But sometimes the smaller breeds will get degenerative changes also, and sometimes they're age related, and sometimes they can start just from an injury.
Now, are there preventative things that you can do? You can see some of the dogs being lifted in right now.
Right, that's a great example of seeing that dog being hesitant to move up those stairs.
Oh, you can see that right there.
Yep.
That's okay. Are there things you can do preemptively for a dog who's starting off as a puppy? Or?
Absolutely. We have found that dogs that are active, as compared to dogs that may be not so active, even if they're the same level of arthritic changes in their joint, the active dogs seem to do much better. So we're always encouraging you to exercise your dog. The other big preventative that you can do is weight management. If your dog is overweight, that extra weight on the dog just puts a lot of stress on those joints.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. What about diet? Are there certain dietary? Because I know that you're big on making sure that there's a whole complete diet plan for your
right. Once you have good wholesome nutrition, if your dog does have an issue with arthritis, there are things like omega fatty acids that we can use that are anti-inflammatory in nature to help prevent inflammation and the pain.
And someone that works here wanted me to ask you, cod liver oil, is that good for your?
Yeah, and that's one type of oil that you can use. You can use fish oils, you can use flaxseed oil. There's, borage oil is another. Some people use evening primrose oil. And that you have so many options on what you can do. You just need to find a veterinarian who is comfortable dealing with nutraceuticals and pet care.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Dr. Selmer, as always. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Well, if you'd like more information about Dr. Selmer and Advanced Animal Care Center in South Huntington, just go to news12.com and click on Numbers and Links. And coming up.
All right, thanks, Joe. Well, tonight, part 2 of your special report on the world of animal rescue. Now, on Tuesday, you may remember, Renata introduced us to the people who take dogs in which are neglected, abandoned, or in need of good homes.
That's right. And right now, Tanner's Paws is working to build a shelter. Work continues on that, and they're going to house dogs waiting to be placed in foster care or adopted. However, this takes a really large network of volunteers and supporters who want nothing more than to help animals.
I've always had a love for animals and realized that a little over a year ago when I lost Tanner that I wanted to start a shelter and start an animal rescue.
Christy Speciale saw a need in Corning and knew she was the one who could fill that void. A longtime animal rescuer, she launched her own nonprofit rescue organization, Tanner's Paws, and is currently in the process of building a shelter, the first one in this part of Steuben County.
We started as a rescue, and the difference between a rescue and a shelter is exactly that. A shelter is a place to house animals. A rescue utilizes foster homes, and we do a little bit of both.
A long process that wouldn't be possible without the help and support of volunteers, many of whom spend their free time to help with the labor. Christy and other Tanner's Paws board members have also chipped in from their own personal savings because it's a cause they believe in wholeheartedly.
We do not get anything from doing this besides the reward of being able to save animals.
Tanner's Paws also teaches people about animal welfare, especially focusing on reaching out to kids, and it shows. One Saturday morning, the shelter gets a special gift. Landon Fleet Sharman of Corning stops by to donate a load of pet supplies, things he asked for instead of presents for his 9th birthday.
Because I'd rather give than receive.
It's a sunny Saturday, perfect for sledding, but these kids are rolling up their sleeves and getting dirty, donating their time and creating a calm environment for lost, abandoned, and neglected pets. The shelter will eventually hold up to 12 dogs, most brought in through dog control contracts with the city of Corning and other municipalities.
We are still promoting our foster homes, and that is the first place we want our dogs to go, is into foster care.
Foster families are the ideal place for dogs to live, in a home environment where they can show their true personalities. Tanner's Paws relies on fosters to help find loving homes for pets and keep the shelter from filling up. As long as there are dogs in need, Tanner's Paws will be there to rescue them.
I like the dog sniffing the land.
He was the biggest dog I've ever seen in my life. And now Tanner's Paws advocates adopting from any animal shelter. You don't have to go just through them, and they take in all sorts of dogs.
Now, that's right. You say they have a lot of purebreds available now, but they have any breed, right?
That's right. Purebreds, mixed breeds, all types. And you can head to this story on WENY.com and see what dogs they have available for adoption right now.
All right. Thanks, Renata. Nice job. I enjoyed that.